Hi, and welcome back to Pittman's Pumpkin Patch, Pittman's Garden Patch. It's May 16th, 2015 again, and this is the third video that I'm doing of the day. It's getting close to evening time, but I figured I'd try to break up the garden into different areas, focusing on blueberries, then focusing on the strawberries. I haven't done the blackberries yet, but I gotta do that. But in any event, here is my Fuji apple tree that I bought about 2 months ago, and this is my Honeycrisp apple tree. And you know, I'm not expecting them to produce any fruit this year, but I believe they're already 4 years old, and you know, maybe next year I'll start to see some fruit buds and everything. So all I'm doing right now is just kind of watching and observing and, you know, learning, taking mental notes about, you know, how it's growing, what it's doing, and all this kind of stuff. And, you know, saying, you know, trying to figure out where the fruit buds are going to grow from and whatnot. So I'm trying to keep just learning. This is like my latest additions to the garden. And these are in 45-gallon fabric pots, so that I can take them with me when I move, and maybe 2 or 3 years. And over the winter time, I plan on taking them out of there and permanently putting them in the ground. So just keep on growing there, buddy. Let me take you over to the blackberries. Now, as you can see, a lot of these blackberries are in bloom right now. Some have already did the flowering and everything. See that plant right there, and the one right next to it. They're pretty much already done as far as their flower production. And so they already have blackberries growing on them, and that variety. Those are the same two. Those are noches, and I'm gonna tell you what, that is probably my favorite out of all the ones that I have here, because they're big, long, plump, juicy, great flavor to them, to the noches variety. I will definitely, if I'm going to expand blackberry production in the years, I'm definitely going to go for those noches some more, because those were just awesome. And most blackberries have Indian tribe names to them. And let me just see if I can show you the inside of a flower. And go down there. This one's not completely opened up, but I think, whereas these right here, this one's a little bit better specimen. You know, it's been up there, and again, I do the same thing with these blackberries as I do. I go right in there, and I rub around in either a clockwise or counterclockwise, sometimes a little bit both direction, and I make sure that, you know, just by doing that, you're making sure that the male and female parts are touching each other, and you'll get more fruit production. I also come in and use the old electric toothbrush trick, and vibrate the stems and everything and the heads, and get them all to do their, and you know, what I'm mimicking when I do that with electric toothbrush, I'm mimicking a bumblebee. And bumblebees, they use, I can't remember the exact name, but it's something dealing with sonics, something or whatever, as they're using their vibration and sound to shake the pollen loose, and then they can gather it on their abdomen and whatnot. But other varieties are, you know, coming in a little bit later. They all came in kind of around the same time. Like I said, the noches came in first, blooming first, and the Navajo, this one here and that one there, are late bloomers, and they've not really been a very good variety for me here. Whereas all the other ones have Arapahos, I say noches, Arapaho, Navajo, and gosh, I can't remember what the other one is. But look how this, and then the petals drop off, and then you get your blackberry starting to grow. Now let me show you some of the, and these still have a lot of blossoms on here that haven't even opened, flower buds. I mean, so these are not done producing, some of them. And let me go down. Oh, there's a beautiful little flower right there. And since I still have pollen on my hand, I think, and my thumb, from one variety, I will cross-pollinate with the other. And you see how the flower petals are starting to fall off, you know? So this has probably been open for a little bit of time. Usually if they're freshly open, they will, they won't fall off so easily. See that none of those are falling off, so just going around. Oh, there went the petal just as soon as I said it. Maybe I'm just a little rough on my pollination, huh? Yeah, maybe they like it rough, I don't know. Maybe it mimics the bees a little bit more. Maybe you're a little bit heavy-handed, but look at that. There you go. This is those noches. Look at that. All been pollinated, they're growing, and yes, they start out green like that. And so, look at these. And these get much longer, bigger, and everything, and then eventually they'll turn black, and then they'll get that shiny coat of black, glossy black look on them. And the main thing you want to know, or remember when you go to harvest these things, is that if you barely touch them, and if they fall off in your hands, they're ripe and ready. If you have to pull and tug too hard, they're not ready. And that's the same with blueberries. You know, you want to go in there gently with them, and if they you just kind of handle them a little bit, and they just kind of basically fall off in your hands, they are ready. If they're not going to fall off that easily, forget them, leave them. They're not ready. And I just want to show you something right here. Here is one of my canes, blackberry canes, that's nearing the ground. I'm going to have to put that back up. But this gives me an opportunity to show you about what you can do about propagating your blackberries. Whoa, I got a bee around in here, and I'm afraid of bees. So I'm going to back off. But, what was I saying? Oh, yes, propagating them. If these blackberry canes touch the ground and stay in good contact with the ground, they will root at the tip. Instead of growing more leaves and stem, they will root in the ground, and that way you'll end up with a new plant. And that's how they spread. And then you could snip off the end of the cane, you know, that's attached to the mother plant, and and once that cane that was touching the ground, the end of the cane that touches the ground has got a good root system, you can cut off the other end that's again attached to the mother plant, and you have yourself a brand new blackberry plant. And in fact, one of those did that to me over the winter time. I didn't realize that particular cane was touching the ground, and I was trying to lift it up one day to attach it, and I couldn't. I was like, well, what the heck is going on? And sure enough, that thing had rooted in the ground. When I pulled it out of the ground, there was a root system on that thing. And I was like, holy bee. I was like, that's crazy. All right, so from Pittman's pumpkin patch, Pittman's garden patch, you know, it's things are growing on pretty good on fruit production. You know, for me in my area in Zone 8 here in Virginia near the ocean, Virginia Beach specifically is the name of my city. You know, for me, the strawberries come in first, followed right behind by blueberries, and blackberries are coming in right, you know, not too long after them. Sometimes there's a little bit of overlap, and that's fine. You know, but it's always real nice to come out here in the morning time and pick a little bit of this, a little bit of that, make a smoothie, eat it fresh. I'm hoping this year I'll be able to freeze a little bit more. So, all right, from Pittman's pumpkin patch, Pittman's garden patch. If you got any questions or comments, write them down below and I'll answer them. And if you have any, if you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe and let your friends know. All right, bye.